Hello and welcome once more in this lesson where I want to show you how you can design picture animation using jQuery coding. And in this project you can see here we have a picture of a horse, and what we want to do is when a button with the label fade pick is clicked, the picture fades away and disappears. When another button show pick is clicked, the picture fades in again and is shown on the screen. And this app is very useful, especially when you want to animate pictures on web pages or on a website. To do that, we are going to use jQuery library. And remember, jQuery is simply a library of code. jQuery is simply a library of JavaScript code. And this JavaScript code is used to do certain actions which might take long to be written, and to save time, the engineers wrote for us and our work is to use the code. Now, what I'm going to do is to show you the jQuery file. You can see on my desktop here, I have a folder, and when I open it, you can see a picture of a horse and a jQuery file. This file contains a jQuery code, and this code we will refer to it to animate this picture. When I open the jQuery file, you can see there is a lot inside. All these are code written for us, and we are going to use them. So you are not supposed to interfere with this code or open this file. I was just showing you that it contains JavaScript code which we will be using, but we will be using it without opening inside it. The first thing to do is to start Notepad and write HTML code to display the horse on a web page and a button. I will search here Notepad on my computer, then click Notepad. So what I am going to do here is to write opening tag HTML, and I will close it somewhere down here. Now I will go ahead and split this page into head and body. And below, I'm supposed to close even head here. And this one will be opening body tag, and I will close it down here. Inside the head, I will insert a title for the web page. I will just call the title animation. Then in the body part here, I am going to have my title with H1, that is heading level 1, and I will write here hide and show picture. Hide and show picture, and below the heading I will insert my picture. Now I will go and confirm the name of the picture and the type of the picture. inside the folder here, you can see the picture is called hose. And to get the type of this picture, I will just right click and choose properties. And in the properties window, you can see it is type of file is JPG. So I will just write its name as hose.jpg. So in my code here, that's write hose.jpg. And below the picture of the hose, I want to empty line. So I'm going to use br tag and another br tag like that. Then I will write my button here, button, and close my button tag. Then in between the two button tags, I will have here fed pic. That is for feeding the picture. I'll write here type is a button. Then I will give it ID. And maybe call it btn fed. This is for feeding the picture. Since I wanted the second button, I will just copy this line, Control and C on the keyboard, then Control and V to paste. Go ahead and change the ID from btn fed. I will call it btn show. So the work of the ID is to uniquely identify a button. So fine, I'm going to save this file on my desktop, open my folder, and I will give this name host.html, then click save. Checking into my folder, you can see now I have a web page, picture of a hose, and still my jQuery file is there. I am going to double click this web page so that you are able to see what is inside. After opening my web page, you can now see it is showing the title here, or the heading of the page, and it has two buttons here. We have pick, fed pick, and fed pick. So I am going to change the label on this button to show pick, and this one will be fed pick. So I will come here and change this one to show. Show pick and save it. So the next thing we want to do is to link the jQuery file. We want to link this file to this code. And also remember, this file contains JavaScript code, which we are not going to interfere with. We are going to use it through the code, not by opening it physically. So to do that, we will have to write the name of this file exactly the way it is. If it is a small letter, you write small letter. If it is capital, you write capital letters. But at the end of that name, you have to put .js, because this is a type of JavaScript file. You can see jQuery name is here and the type is JavaScript file. So we are going to put .js. To link, I will just write script. Then I will close the script tag here. I will go in the first tag of the script, put space, then write source, then equal sign, like that. Then in between these quotes, I will write the name of the jQuery file. It is jQuery. Then at the end, remember, since it is of type JavaScript file, I have to put .js, just like that. Then below here, I want to write my jQuery code now. I will open down here between closing body tag and HTML. I will just write a script. Then I will close it as script down here. So I will do this, what I will do right here, I will start with the $sign. That is how we start our jQuery code. Then to put two brackets like that. Then inside the bracket, I will write function. Then I put two curly brackets. Open the curly brackets. In between the curly brackets, I'll write $sign, just like that. Now I want to refer to this button, the first button. So I'm going to pick the name of this ID and write it here in single quotation marks. But I have to start with the hashtag like that, because I am calling an ID. All IDs are called using the hashtag. After that, I will write .click, because it is a button, it will be clicked, and close like that. Inside here, I will just write function like that, then two curly brackets, and press enter like that. In between the curly brackets, now I will come and pick this picture, img, copy. So I will just put $sign, then in quotation marks, I will paste img, which represent picture, and tell it dot fade out. To fade out is to disappear, like that. After that, I will just come and copy this code here. You see this code for this button. I will leave the introduction part and the closing bracket and copy this code for the button. And I will just come below it here, and paste. Okay. So this I'm going to change. You remember here we have two IDs, one for btn show and one for btn fed. So I'm going to change this to btn show, which represents this button. And when btn show is clicked, instead of fading out, I want it to fade in. To fade in is to show. Another way for showing to show is to fade in, and to fade out is to hide or to disappear. So I will go ahead and save this code. So you can see here, I have my code here, starting here until down here, and here I have code for the first button and code for the second button. So I am going to save and refresh that page so that you are able to see. So I want to refresh this and we see how it works. After refreshing my page, I can now come here, and when I click the fed pick button, you can see it is disappearing. When I click show pick button, it is showing. So I will go ahead and make it fade slowly and show slowly so that you can see the effect. To do that, I will just come inside this fade and fade in and fade out and put speed here. I can put here maybe 5,000 milliseconds. That is equivalent to 5 seconds. And again 5,000 milliseconds. So I am simply telling it to disappear within 5 seconds and to show within 5 seconds. I will save the changes. I will go ahead and refresh this page. After refreshing the page, you can see now when I click fade pick, it fades slowly within 5 seconds. When I click show pick, it shows slowly. I can click fade pick, fade slowly, and I click show pick, it shows slowly. That is how JavaScript is great. It is making our work simpler. Thank you for participating. I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.